Hey, how are y'all? Lots of familiar faces, lots of unfamiliar faces. I'm Meredith. I also go by MJ. It's a little nickname I've had since college. I've been to lots of luncheons with lackluster speakers, so my goal is to not be that. So, hopefully. So, as he said, I had a career as a speech pathologist. I have 2 daughters, a first grader and a 4th grader, and I don't have a degree in business. I have a degree in some other things, but I'm going to tell you what I've learned the last 5 years running my business, if that's cool with you guys. Oh, hang on, I have to click the thing. Okay. So, I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. My whole family still lives there. I go there frequently. In 2016, I quit my job as a speech pathologist to stay home with my daughters because I thought that's what, a lot of people wanted to do, but I itch and I can't sit still for a second. So, now we have makeup junkie bags. I get so nervous when I'm up here, and I joke. People are like, "You were on Shark Tank. Why are you nervous?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to run into Mark Cuban at Kroger. I'm going to run into all of you at Kroger. So if this doesn't work out for me, that's on me." So basically, a lot of the women in the room, if you know cosmetics, modern day cosmetics are no longer a lipstick and a compact. It's big artistry palettes that are supposed to make us look like Heidi Klum, Tyra Banks, whoever your celebrity crush might be. So I was frustrated that I traveled and I had nowhere to house my big cosmetic items. So I went to the Hobby Lobby in Conroe and I purchased some fabric, and then I purchased some raincoat fabric that was wipeable, and I made a makeup junkie bag. It's a rectangular bag. Oh, hang on. Yes, there we go. What is a makeup junkie bag? It's a lay flat, pack flat design, kind of like an old school pencil pouch. It houses a ton of product. People call it the Mary Poppins bag. You'd be shocked how much people can fit in these bags. They pack flat, they're leak resistant, so if anything spills, your suitcase is protected. Shampoo, conditioner, all of that kind of stuff. So I started making them at my kitchen table for my friends. I went on a girls' trip, and they were like, "Where'd you get that bag?" And I told them, and then it was, "My mom's birthday's coming up, make one for her. It's my sister's birthday, make one for her." It kind of became a thing. So since everyone calls me MJ, I was like, "Oh, makeup junkie, that's kind of cute." Who cares about trademark and copyright, right? I just started selling them. So, after selling them out of my home and making in 1 month what I made in my entire annual salary as a speech pathologist, I had a decision to make about whether or not to really do this or just craft on the side. So, there's that. Hang on. Click. Okay. We already went over this, but I think the How to Start a Makeup Bag Business for Dummies icon is really cute, so if we could all just take a minute to appreciate that, that would be great. Thank you to my marketing team at work. The business community. So I'm on the chamber board of directors for Conroe. But I gotta say, now that I've been hanging in the Woodlands chamber, yes. There will be blood. Okay. So the local community rallied around my little mom-owned business. I made about 100 bags in my kitchen by myself, and I had a little open house, like a Tupperware party, and thinking, maybe 5 people will come, maybe not. I don't know. I was just enjoying the pride that came from people liking what I made. Nobody had ever seen a makeup bag that packs flat. Over 100 people came to my home. I was married at the time. And I thought I was going to be killed after. So I'd never had so much pride. I had no employees. My best friends came and worked to help me, and then I treated them to a margarita afterward, and that was their payment. They were happy to take it. So that's kind of how it got started. From there, let's see here. I just couldn't believe that so many people were telling so many people about me, and it was spectacular. Networking is huge. A lot of the big things that have happened to me the last 5 years are because I love people. We'll get to that later in Shark Tank, but you can't just sit in the corner by yourself. You have to meet people, shake hands, find out who people are, and really get to know them, and the domino effect happens, and it leads you to greater things. So thank you to the local community for supporting my business so much. All right, Shark Tank. So working out of my home the first year, I was sitting on the couch one night, put my kids to bed, and hair in a bun, t-shirt on, and I was watching Shark Tank, as most of us do, and it said, do you have a unique idea? And by this time, I had filed for a patent. I had a patent pending and filed my LLC. Keaton McDaniel, I don't know if y'all know him. He couldn't be here today, but I called him one day. He does stuff for me, and I was like, how do you have a business? I'm a Google top business owner. Google. So he kind of assisted to help me file an LLC and do all the things needed to make it a business. So I applied for Shark Tank thinking, yeah, right. Ha ha. This is funny. It was a very in-depth online application. You can do go in person and do an in-person casting call where you get a minute to pitch and hope that you make it to the next round, or you can do an online application, which is what I did. It was very in-depth, and I was very not in-depth. I'm a very quick to the point person. I know what I want, and I don't waste time. So what should have been a very longhand answer to most questions, do you have a unique item? Yep. Are there any competitors? Nope. So things like that. I forgot I applied, but I did sell almost $1 million out of my home the first year with Hobby Lobby fabric from Hobby Lobby in Conroe. I wish there was a representative here. I actually took a picture with their whole staff because one day I spent $10,000 at the Conroe Hobby Lobby cleaning out their entire fabric department. And talk about mistakes you make when you don't have a business background. That's when I learned about retail versus wholesale. I was paying 2 times as much for that stuff. Sometimes I go in there and buy stuff just to remind them I still love them. So I had a store approach me, and they were like, do you wholesale? And I'm like, hold on, just a sec, please hold. Google, what is wholesale? Oh yeah, a discount so you can resell it? What do you want, like 20%? What you want? Oh no, I learned what true wholesale was, and then obtained stores locally, which led to them advertising on Facebook, which led to other stores going, what is that? What is that? So fast forward, I now am not a one-woman show anymore. I moved into a 400 square foot commercial office that my real estate best friend loaned to me with no lease, just because my house was full of bags and my children were crawling over orders and tearing them apart. And it's a very hard balance when you're starting a business to be a mom and have a baby and a toddler. So was in that office, and I think I had 4 employees at the time, and then my phone rings. My cell phone was the office phone. I was sitting on my master bedroom floor for the first year, pretending like I was a business. I would make it, pack it, ship it. Make it, Junkie Bags, how can I help you? Can I talk to somebody in shipping? Yeah. What you need? When's my order coming? Funniest thing, it's coming right now. You're gonna have it in 2 days. I did it all. I tell my employees now, I have dozens of employees, and we wholesale to over 5,000 stores now. Still make everything 10 minutes from here in my factory in Conroe. And I tell them, I have been in your shoes. I have shipped. I have manufactured. I have split my finger on the sewing machine. I've cut the fabric. I've answered the phone to happy customers and angry customers, and I understand every single role in this business. So anyway, Shark Tank. Sometimes I bounce around, so... I get a phone call at my office, and they were like, is this Meredith? I was like, yeah. They were like, this is ABC Shark Tank. And I was like, Jake from State Farm. What are you wearing, khakis? So I tell the girls, I was like, Shark Tank. They were like, I was like, it's Shark Tank. They were like, do you have the flat makeup bags? Yes. Can you send us a box? I was like, okay. So I did that. With Shark Tank, I like to share a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff because a lot of people are intrigued by that. Some people think you get paid to be on the show. Oh, no. Doesn't work like that. There were 40,000 applicants for my season, and 80 of us made it onto television. So send them a box, and they do this really fun game called we reach out, we talk to you, we get you excited, and then we disappear for 6 weeks. It was a 9-month process. I mailed them a box. They called me back. They said, the bags are gone. Everybody took them. Everybody loves them. Everybody comes in asking if there's more. This is a great product. Now, are you for real? I had to pay my accountant and my lawyer to prove that everything I said was true about my business was true. And I had to foot the bill for that on the prayer that maybe they would pick me. After a 9-month vetting process, then you start doing Zoom calls with producers, fake pitches. Oh, we like your product. Are you good for television ratings? Because if you're not, you get cut real quick. And I would make it through each round and then not hear from them for another 6 weeks. And at the end of every cut, they would say, okay, thank you. If you don't hear from us, good luck to you. It will let you know. And that is excruciating. I am a data-driven person. I love answers. I love closure. I'm just made that way. And so that was a very hard adaptation for me. But what am I going to do? You can't do that, Shark Tank. No, can't do that. So after 9 months, and Brittany remembers this. Brittany, raise your hand. This is my Brittany. She's spectacular. We were having a manager's meeting at a restaurant. I had dozens of employees. We were doing well without the show, and I'm thankful for that. But we're sitting there, and I was like, y'all, at that point, it was like 6 to 8 weeks since we heard from them. And I was like, we waited to the very end, and then they cut us. They don't even tell you why. And then we got the phone call. You have to be in Los Angeles in a week. If you say no, you're not on the show. I was like, I will sell my children to make that flight. So I did. No, I'm just kidding. So cleared my entire schedule, so excited. And most people think that you show up, you film, you go home, you're there for a whole week. You have to practice in front of all the executive producers. They pay for everything. They pay for your flight, your hotel. You go to this little weird hotel room every morning and get your cash allowance for the day. It's very weird, but pays the bills, right? So I get there, and there's about 100 of us, and we're all so excited. They put us in this room together. And then they said, not all of you are going to get to film your episode. We thought we'd made it at that point onto the show. They said, you have to pre-pitch to the producers and make sure all the pitches that you've emailed us via video you can do that in person. And about 20 of you are going to get cut. What? Okay, well, you owe me $6,000 for my legal fees that I paid to get here, right? All that kind of stuff. So pre-pitched, and all of my pitch videos I did in the office. My team was helping me. I have a very clever marketing team, and you're relaxed. Maybe a mimosa here and there. I don't know, So very confident on camera. And then I got in front of those producers, and this happened. And they literally looked me in the eye, 20 of them, and said, where's the confident girl from the video? Because that's not her. And I cried, as most people would. And so we had 3 chances to pitch the executives before we were allowed to film. So got my stuff together, looked myself in the mirror. I was like, you can do this. And they approved me to film. The outfit that you wear, you cannot wear anything that deviates from what they choose for you. You have to wear 3 different outfits and walk out in front of the production team, and they select what you're going to wear. I guess for lighting and stuff, they don't want anything risque or ill-fitting on TV. So I had a black dress on with a kimono type thing. So the day I was supposed to film, by the way, they filmed the entire season in 1 week. The sharks change clothes to make it look like they have different days every day. A lot of people don't know that. So I get put in a trailer with my name on it. Hello, Reese Witherspoon, right? I got my hair and makeup done professionally by a lady who was just with Amy Poehler on a movie set at Sony Studios. I'm like, is there any hair in that brush? I can just tuck it in my pocket or something. They mic'd me up, and the sun goes like this. The sun goes like this. I didn't stay in my trailer. I was at the food place. I was at the drink place. I was elbow rubbing with all the producers, doing whatever. And so the sun went like this. There was 3 of us left, and the filming prior took too long, and they came to us and said, you guys are cut. You have to go home. You cannot film because labor laws or stuff like that. They did not have any more time to film. And the sharks the next day were A-Rod, people that were sports themed, and they try to orient the customers towards the sharks that would best benefit them. So they had asked if I wanted to donate my whole display that we have to fake set up prior to the staff of Sony. And before I had said, absolutely, you guys take it all. Take what you want, And they were like, it says here, I remember this lady had a clipboard. It says here you're donating your display. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Every last stitch back to Houston, please. Thank you. I did that. So go to my hotel with my compadres. I saw a grown man cry in a van and call his mom. He was probably 46. He had a chip company, got sent home. We all went to the hotel bar. I got guacamole all over my Shark Tank dress and drank too much wine and went to my room and cried. no crying today. And then the producers called me. And they were like, can you stay? We have Girl Sharks on Thursday. Can you stay? We'll film you, we promise. Oh, I've heard that before. Mic me up, butter me up, and then, don't put the ring on my finger, So cautiously but excitedly, I was like, yes, I can stay. They extended my flight, made sure my family was taken care of, and I was like, yeah, this is good. Then I saw my dress on the floor covered in guacamole. So I washed it with hotel shampoo and blow-dried it and wore it on national television. I still put it on sometimes, just, reminisce. So nothing is perfect. Experiences are hard, and it's the ability to get up and keep going that sets an entrepreneur apart from somebody else. Entrepreneurship is not easy. I had to learn to deal with failure, but super celebrate the successes. I had to learn to deal with gossip. I had to learn to be in front of people and be okay with it. I had to learn a lot of things. So Shark Tank changed my life. We sold in the 6 weeks after the show aired what we sold the entire year before. And I took the deal on the show, but I didn't actually take the deal. They wanted to manufacture in China, and I don't disrespect that. There's a lot of successful companies that do. But you try looking into the eyes of dozens of people that work for you and tell them they're fired because you sold out. I couldn't do it, and I didn't sign. So back to my networking. What's the next slide? My paper ones are out of order because I'm Meredith and I'm a mess, so we're just going to stare at this one for a while. Networking is huge. Like I said, on Shark Tank, I talked to people. I walked around and, gave my card out and tried to make friends. What do you make? But what do you do? Do you have kids? What do you do? I met a producer named Jennifer Klein, and I just kept talking her ear off, and she was spectacular. And she's like, you are okay. And I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And then whenever they were busing me back after I filmed my episode, she was on the same golf cart between studios. And she's like, it's you again. And I was like, it's me again. Gave her my card. I went to her house to a private party 2 months ago and personally handed Jennifer Lopez the bag that she selected. Because I networked. I talked to people. Get out of your comfort zone. Pass your card out. Make friends. Grab a coffee. People are good. Some people are not good, but most people are good. Not to be all Luke Bryan on you, So I learned a lot about that with business. The failures is the big thing, because if I approached a store and they didn't want me, first you get your feelings hurt, just like any of you would if you're a service provider or you make a product, and you're like, why don't they want me? But it's good, but other people like it. It takes all kinds of kinds, and there's all different kinds of people in the world. I've learned that, and that's okay. The focus shouldn't be there. Like they say, do you have a flower full of, hang on. I feel like Chris Farley in that Tommy Boy movie where he gets the thing wrong. Do you see a field full of flowers with one weed, and all you can, that one weed, dang it, bugs me? Or do you have a field full of weeds, and you're like, look, a flower. It's a mentality. It's a choice that we all have. I teach my kids the same thing. They have a bad attitude. I'm like, okay. You don't like this or that. You don't like your supper. What would the kids that don't get supper think about that? Perspective. So, on top of that, success is great, but behind every success, there's a human. Success does not stop my family member from being terminally ill. It doesn't stop a divorce. It doesn't stop painful things that coexist while you're trying to build a business. There's humans behind every single business, every single one of you. Probably have your own things that you deal with. So the human factor of trying to operate that and take care of everything else in your life is real, and it should be nurtured and acknowledged. So that's something that I think is very important. So where are we now? We finally have some elbow room. We moved into about 18,000 square feet in Conroe. I have a big hot pink factory lined with sewing machines. We hand make everything and distribute ourselves. We do everything. We cut, we sew, we ship, we customer service. I have a wonderful staff of wonderful people in the local community, and we've expanded. I have a clothing line. I now private manufacture for other people. I have bags, duffel bags, purses, sunglass cases, all kinds of stuff. It's like we were just making makeup bags, and then one day I was like, hey, these machines don't just sew makeup bags. can make other stuff. Make a matching backpack, a matching purse. Lots of really great things have happened, and I'm very thankful for it. And I think without having a business background to share business secrets with you, all I can share with you is what I've been through those last 5 years, and never get discouraged by failure. If I did, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Pay attention to the business side of things. I would rather have $1 million in revenue with half of that being profit than 20 million in revenue and taking home 0.01% of that. All of the things that you have to learn along the way about business while trying to make sure you have a good culture at your office. I tend to be, Brittany will laugh, my production manager Lou says I'm too nice. For example, Christmas. We're a Christmas gift. Q4 is big for us. Everybody wants to take their whole 2 weeks paid vacation. And I'm like, we're not that kind of business. And so they start putting in PTO. And then Lou's like, this can't happen. I was like, I'm going to have a talk with them. They need to space it out. And then I go to the meeting and I'm like, aw, but you want to be with your family. Okay. And so I tend to be a softie, but we have a great culture. A lot of people that walk into my office compliment us on that. And I'm very, very proud of that. Probably more proud of that than any sales number that I could share with anybody. So very big on culture and people. Dealing with newfound growth, balancing out sales. Oh yeah, the Shark Tank effect. So, you have a business, you go like this. The Shark Tank effect, your sales go like this. So the last 2 years, we've had to what's our real normal? Shark Tank year, you get 4 reruns. Those sales are astronomical. What does Makeup Junkie bags really look like? What do we really sell on an average basis? So now we've kind of corralled that a little bit, and we know how to budget, and we know what we can and can't do. So that was kind of a learning curve, and I still think it's really funny they let me man the ship. I always joke I'm the most unprofessional professional that there is. So, but somehow it works. Sometimes it's okay to not be stiff and by the book all the time because it works out better the other way. Let's see. This is my office in my factory. We do mass production. We're currently doing private production for some people in the NFL, for a baby line, for a woman with a swimwear line, and about 3 other new clients that we have. So shifting from Makeup Junkie bags to MJ Products, a lifestyle brand made in Texas with a lifetime guarantee, to MJ Manufacturing. You're the designer. You have an idea. Let me make it for you. Contract me out. So that's the plans for expansion. 2022 has a lot of big things for us, and especially amidst the import crisis and COVID, I'm very proud to be one of very few US-based manufacturing companies. Here's just a few little things. These things on the bottom are called brush books. They're makeup brush books. It's like a book, but you don't read it. You open it, you put your makeup brushes in it. Everything's handmade, machine washable, and lifetime guaranteed. I have a man junk line. Yes, I understand. It's a little bit risque. So man junk men's lifestyle. We've got sportswear and all kinds of clothing coming out next year. And the travel bags, I was like, they're leak proof. For shampoo and conditioner for women, men have hair too. Kids have hair too. So our 3 MJ lines are Makeup Junkie, Mommy Junkie, and Man Junk. We're in showrooms in Atlanta, Dallas. We show in Vegas, California, and New York. We're in all 50 states and 5 countries. Just a few more products here. Fanny packs, tote bags, cosmetics. I found a makeup chemist in Palm Beach, Florida, and Brittany and I joke, oh, we got to go order more makeup. Oh, we got to go to Palm Beach again. Traveled more in the last 4 years than I have in my entire 36 years on this earth. So my makeup, MJ Cosmetics, Makeup Junkie is a very coveted name to have trademark on. You can do a lot with it. It's very broad. So I have a cosmetics line that's made in America. It's organic. It's wonderful. So expanding my one-woman show, one makeup bag at a table with Hobby Lobby fabric 5 years ago into a very large lifestyle brand. And that's my story, y'all. Does anybody have any comments, questions, violent reactions? Yes. No. I don't even think she paid the valet. That was spectacular. Jennifer Klein invites some of her closest celebrity friends who she does film, she's a producer, to her home every year to get pedicures, manicures. It's called her Day of Indulgence. You can Google it, actually. And she picks about 8 to 10 people to pass out gifts to her friends. And because I was telling her silly stories about my kids at the snack table at Shark Tank, she invited me to her party. So never underestimate who you'll meet and what will happen from that. Also, do you know who Lisa Vanderpump is? Okay. So somebody sent me a picture a couple months ago of her couches. I have a bag called the Kennedy bag. It's part of my spring line. I go to fabric shows with the top houseware designers. They buy fabric for couches for their high-end customers. They do interior design. I put those fabrics on my bags. So, especially the washable ones. So there's this interview that she had. I've been watching her show. If you don't know, she's a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, one of the originals. She owns 50 million businesses. I think she's a billionaire at this point. Not sure. Have to check the data on that. Don't want to lie to you. So she's interviewing on her couch, and somebody said, hey, her couch is made out of your Kennedy bag. I was like, oh, this is so funny. So months ago, I mailed her an entire set of my Kennedy bag, and I said, too funny, matches your couch, and put the picture of her with it in the background. Thought nothing of it. Yeah, right. Kind of like the Shark Tank thing. Yeah, right. Oh, last week we got an email from her. She's in love with them. She wants more. And then she linked an article. If you're in advertising, you have to pay a lot of money for celebrities to plug your product. And sometimes they won't even if you pay them. We've never done that. We're a small business still. And I like to run a shoestring budget. So she wants more. And then she linked an article to New York Magazine where she said, I still don't even know how I got these bags, but I use them every day. I love them. I tell everybody about them. And I about died. Really? And then the Real Housewives of Orange County called me a couple weeks ago. They want 60 bags for their skincare launch. They're going to film the skincare launch. The episode airs in February, and they're talking about nothing but makeup junkie bags. Guess who told them about me? Lisa Vanderpump, because I saw her couch and mailed her a free set 6 months ago. You have to, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. Don't be a naysayer. Be a yasayer. Just do it. It's not going to break you. Do it. If it's not going to hurt you, do it. Because the domino effects, even if they come a year later, 6 months later, I know I don't have the business background that some of you guys have, but street smarts are just as valuable, and I'm telling you, it works. Even if you send it to 10 people and only one responds, that's value. So I preach that so much. Okay, any other questions?
Oh, thank you. I'm just curious because I'm a retired LSSP, so when I heard SLP, I got kind of excited. It's like, ooh, SPED people. Has that experience working as a speech-language pathologist really kind of helped you dealing with people as far as human communication and really understanding how to talk to people?
Oh, I think so too. As a speech therapist, communication is what your job is all about. And before that, I was helping children or in the medical setting. Never in my life, I have very little enemies. Never in my life had I ever had to deal with difficult customers or angry people. And I had to grow a backbone really quick. People on social media, well, what's the big deal with these bags? They're ugly. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because my mom raised a lady. So stuff like that. You have to be thick-skinned to be an entrepreneur. People are going to compete with you. They're going to knock you off. My patent has shut down 7 companies, and I'm so thankful that I sprung for it. Because if not, there would be knockoff makeup junkie bags at every other store, IP is valuable. If I ever sell my company, having that patent and those trademarks and all that stuff is so valuable. So if there's anything you want to do, I would say ground zero, secure your property. I kind of went a different direction with that, but yeah. Yes.
Are the sharks part of your strategy in manufacturing? Are you reaching out to them? Are they coming to you for doing any of their new product work?
No, but I'm patiently waiting. We're having a heavy influx of requests from people needing manufacturing. Hey, if we give you our patterns, can we make it for you? So I'm just going to go with the ebb and flow, and when we get backed up, buy a machine, hire another person, and kind of follow that. No, I thought after Shark Tank that Lori Grenier, who I partnered with on the show, when I didn't sign the contract, I thought that would be it. No, so Jennifer Klein, the producer's like, hey, I don't know Lori as well as you. Will you see if she wants to come to my party? And I was like, oh yeah, we're having lunch on Sunday. Let me ask her. You know what I mean? I hadn't talked to her in a couple months. So I emailed her and her husband and her assistant, and they were wonderful. Even though we didn't do a deal, I had a WooCommerce platform before. They were like, girl, you need to get on Shopify. If you're in the retail industry, you know what I mean. But it's basically website platforms that are conducive to being user-friendly versus not. They helped me redo my whole website before we decided not to do the deal together. Pro bono, nicest people ever. Really adore them. Anyway, email her, and she's like, Meredith, how'd you get invited to this party? And I was like, well, bake muffins for everybody. So she came, and we had a great time, and I showed her all my new stuff and gave her some stuff, and she's like, I'm so proud of you. And then Jennifer and her are really good friends now. She's like, Lori comes over to have wine because of you. Thank you. So that pride in success or pride in a business, you can make money doing anything. Pride, I don't think, comes from that. I grew up very poor on food stamps, actually. Child of 6, Corpus Christi, Texas. Every little thing, every nice piece of cheese I eat to this day, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. But pride for me comes from people liking what I make, from making connections with people, deep friendships, helping people. I mean, some of my vendor friends, I help them, I connect them. Some people are like, don't give away your trade secrets. I'm like, you want my fabric dealer, my tag dealer, my thread dealer? So I share because it doesn't bother me. Because if they compete with me, the customers that really love what I do will stick with me. So those relationships and the pride that comes from all of that stuff to me is of way more value. Think of all the celebrities who commit suicide. They're rich. What's wrong with your life? You're rich. Doesn't work like that, And the people that appreciate those parts of life, I think, are the happiest people. Sorry, I get super deep, heartfelt. I'm very that way, so apologize if I get a little soapboxy with that. Anybody else?
MJ, I'm not a Vanderpump, but I am the owner of 2 men junk bags, thanks to my wife. She's a huge
Spectacular.
fan. She bought all my girls and all their friends bags, and she bought me 2, and I went, great, thanks very much. I'll never use this, but I do. I came home from a trip last week, opened my man junk bag, and the shampoo bottle had opened and spilled shampoo all inside the bag.
Hang on, Britt, can you get this on video? Go ahead.
And I went, oh crap. And I went, wait a minute. This is easy. Took it out, rinsed it out. Great product. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also, what you said about meeting people, say hello, make friends, build relationships, I preach that to, and thank you very much for that, because I preach that to the people in my business. JJ Holly preaches that to people in the chamber. And thank you very much for being a real-life example of how that works.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Very, very much. Yeah, the Shark Tank staff tested my bags because they're not going to put a product on TV if you say it's leak resistant, and then everybody's like, whoopsies. There was my favorite one, a bottle of Scope. It's made for gel-type substances like shampoos, body washes, things like that to keep your suitcase protected. We were actually in USA Today's top 10 travel items, which is super cool. But a bottle of Scope, they were sloshing it back and forth, and it wasn't leaking out of the seams. And even I was like, man, it really works. Yeah, it's easy to be intimidated. I was part of an infringement lawsuit where somebody knocked me off, and my patent was pending, and they were like, well, your patent's pending. It's a design patent, not a utility patent. It could pend forever. And then I'm doing nothing wrong. They took the risk. My legal team was like, they better hope that patent doesn't issue. And then that glorious day, I think I took everyone to lunch that day at work. The patent office called me and approved my patent. We were in mediation within 2 days. So I was like, at the time, 34. I'm like, I'm 34, going through a divorce. I'm in a lawsuit. I just want my mommy right now. That's all I want. But, you go through things and it makes you stronger. It makes you smarter. It's okay not to know everything. I used to come to stuff like this and all the people that were so smart and had all this knowledge, and I would get so intimidated. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody has something to offer. Even if half the things someone tells you you don't use, you can take a little piece of something from everyone and cultivate your own unique situation, I don't know, I'm a glass half full kind of girl. So, yeah. Anybody else?
I was glad to hear that you do have something for men in your line. There are purses for women, and when we travel, their purse goes through. We need a bag that a man can feel comfortable carrying and empty his pockets when we travel and just push that bag through.
Well, and I think that we stand out because we hand make everything and we lifetime guarantee it. So if it ever rips, breaks, tears, we don't even ask. You get a brand new one. We're able to do that because our return rate and warranty rate, I think last time we checked, was 0.000 something. They are so well made. Stuff overseas, I sampled with Lori Grinner's factory when we were talking about the Shark Tank contract. That we stuffed 2 bags full. Hers ripped in a second. Mine will outlive all of us. Your grandchildren's grandchildren. We'll be using these bags. I don't buy 2-gauge thread that snaps with your teeth. I use nylon. All those things I learned along the way. So the man bags are great if you don't like to check a bag. They pack so flat in your carry-on. Sorry, shameless sales pitch. They pack so flat in your carry-on. I never check a bag. Brittany gets amazed. We'll go to Atlanta showroom for 5 days. I will take 5 different outfits and have one roll-on. And she's like, okay, Mary Poppins, how do you do that? Makeup junkie bags. They pack everything flat. Not a gimmick, just reality. So I appreciate the compliment. Man junk bags are wonderful. Christmas gifts too.
I just wanted to say, with all your success here in the local community, thank you for having a deep connection as well as staying humble. So thank you for being here and sharing your success with us. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. They're like in the pink of health. I'm sure a lot of you know about that. They always had luxury gift sponsors. That's how I met Ann. And they had, I believe y'all had Kinder Scott before, Michael Kors before. And they asked me, and I'm sitting there on my couch, and I'm like, Kinder Scott, Michael Kors, I want to be that one day, but I'm not that right now. Why would they ask me that? And it made me cry. We raised over $40,000 with our bag donations for In the Pink of Health. And we're there. Anyway, Scott, you had a question?
Well, that's what I was going to say, is just give an example of how you give back to tee that up. So you've already answered that. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for what you do in the community.
Yes, give back. I just give. I just feel like if I don't give, someone's going to take it away from me. And I don't ever want it to end because I love it so much. I always have speech pathology. If, some businesses rise and fall. That's reality. Wouldn't be embarrassing if I did. I'd just see you at the Kroger and be a speech therapist instead of MJ. But I give back so much. Probably, my accountant would tell you, probably more so than I'm allowed to. But that's, I believe in that circle of life, and that everything that you put in comes back on some level, even if it takes a while. So, yeah, lots of give back. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Stacy. I am super excited about your makeup. She doesn't just do the bags, she does the makeup herself. Or does the makeup as well. It stays on. The pigment is amazing. I put it on at 5:30, 6 in the morning. Go all day at work.
Again, Brittany, are you
home
getting
with
this?
the kids? Running 90 to nothing. It never comes off. It is my absolute favorite. Are you planning on an expansion in colors and?
Yes, we actually have a trip in the spring planned to do that. So I started off really small with lip gloss, lipstick, blush, eyeshadow, colors. I was like, nothing they have to put on their actual face, because then they'll be like, you gave me psoriasis, I'm suing you, So, but we've expanded into skincares, and they're all organic. They're all made in the USA. They're all formulated and have the formulations on there. So as long as you do your research with that, you pretty much have a fail-safe. Yeah, we have a huge expansion next year. And the patent thing too. So I've learned about licensing the patent. I've actually licensed my patent out to one company. I'm hoping to do that more and more and more, capitalize on that while I can. The clothing that we're making, I have a line called Modern Jester. Everything's MJ. It was going to be called Madam Jester, like funny lady, but I thought Madam might give people the wrong impression because of the old school term. So Modern Jester. So we make clothing, beautiful boutique clothing. Those of you that were at my store yesterday for the In the Pink charity event bought some. It's good stuff. So I just purchased my own digitizing pattern machine with like the plotter that prints the patterns and stuff. I nerd out on it big time. So huge expansion next year, and the makeup line, the clothing line, and all of the bags too. So thank you for the compliment. I'm wearing it too. Anybody else? Well, I appreciate your time and listening to my speech. that I did not practice at all. Truly, I always wing it and just hope for the best. So thank y'all so much for your graciousness and your smiles. Makes me feel very comfortable up here.
You're amazing.